Hey everyone, Sparks here, back for another installment of Major Minor. So, last time around, we managed to enter into Chapter 9. We are now back on Terra, and have miraculously survived our wounds, and Reiyo transported us along with everyone else back to the Wayfarer's Tavern. We've gone and said our goodbyes to everyone, learned what we pretty much had already suspected, and that Fidget's mother is dead, but we promised to bring her back. Reiyo and Konrad are getting along, and we decided we were going to bring Konrad along for our little ball expedition, because honestly, between the two options, he was the better choice. So, without further ado, let's actually get to the ball itself. Oh, there we go. Back in. Ooh, hard to believe that we're nearly at 12 hours spent on this game. Oof. Been a lot longer for you guys, though, because obviously this is broken up, but still. Wow. When I get outside, I immediately notice the carriage. My mind stops back to Tokyo, when I first saw the limo. It seems that stylish travel looks different in Terra. Take a breath of fresh air and smile. Sure hope things ended up the way Reiyo predicted. Is that meant to be a tavern? Huh, so we were like somewhere up here on the second floor. Interesting. An end to suffering. The resurrection of our friends. That would sure be a worthy end to my journey. I feel like it's been a lot longer than it really has. Yeah, so do I. Oof. There was a part of me that was eager to see this end. There was a part of me that didn't want to let go. I don't know which was winning the fight in my mind. Hey, sorry if I kept you waiting. I had to talk with everybody first. It's weird, since we're coming right back. At least, I hope we are. I don't know what Veloquez has planned, but I know we're in for one great party. But, regardless of my goal, I'm glad I could attend it with you. As am I. You are clearly the superior choice. In case anyone has forgotten, the other choice was Sam, who, yes, it would have been interesting to learn more about her on our trip there and likely at the ball itself, but I'll save that for another playthrough, which I won't be recording, so don't get your hopes up for this to continue beyond what I've already shown. If I showed you every possible ending, you wouldn't want to play the game yourself, and where's the fun in that? We'll have fun before we see Veloquez. Anyways, I'm sitting up top. You can sit in the back with Reiyo. I'm sure you have lots to talk about. He pats me on the back and jumps on top of the carriage. I guess he'd be giving directions to the drivers. Moments later, Reiyo exits the tavern doors. Wow, it's awfully bright out here. I think I've ever been under the sun. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but I know there's a lot I haven't done. Yes, now I'm free to try everything. So that's why you have your hood. This world is too bright for you. That doesn't really make sense considering your eyes used to be able to see across multiverse. Across everything. You could, why is this bright? You've probably seen a lot brighter. Oh well. So thanks to you, Sparks. Oh, thanks. He gives me a warm smile before walking to the carriage. Wonder how long it would take to get to the castle. Would you care to join me? I'm sure we can keep each other company. No shortage of things to talk about. After saying this, he enters the carriage. I follow behind him, climbing in the back. His carriage is much bigger on the inside. Flashbacks to the limo ride play even more in my head. Reiyo is sitting comfortably on one side in silence. This doesn't look like the inside of a carriage. It looks like somebody's room or bunkhouse. Weird. I'd take a seat if I were you. Shouldn't be standing when we start moving. Don't want you to hurt yourself. He gestures at the open seat in front of him. Without pause, I take a seat and look towards him. I wonder if this thing is being pulled by horses. Horse-drawn carriage would certainly make sense. And why don't they have feral horses? Because they're all anthro, of course. That actually seems like it's most likely what's going on, and that feels so weird, the idea of a bunch of anthro horses pulling this. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Not sure how long a ride we have. I've only visited the castle in suspension. Never left Veloquiz's throne room. He rests back in his seat, sighing heavily. Never thought I'd live to see this day. We watched over Terra for millions of years. To think that change will finally come. Couldn't possibly be more excited. Everything is about to come together. This day will be remembered for eternity. Talk about putting the pressure on me, Reiyo. Veloquiz will be quite happy to see you. He's been waiting for a very long time. Expect he has quite the feast ready. It's not too often that he opens the gates. The last time was the Exodus project. Of course, it didn't go as planned. The carriage shakes as we start to move. I'm reminded of when the train started back up again. Reiyo crosses his arms, unaffected by this change. That's a depressing story anyway. What else is there to talk about? Open for anything, really. I have a few ideas now that he's being more open. Only one thing in my mind is his past. How did he really come to rule over the Ark? Where was he from? And what was it like before? You want to know about my past, huh? You really are something else. I always take an interest in others. Well, yeah, that's kind of what this is about. I suppose I could tell you a little bit. Memory's a little hazy, though. So let's just start with what I remember. I was created by Veloquiz a long time ago. Likely as a failsafe against Nami and Nagi. I'm positive they thought this through. I mean, how could I harness the power? It's likely that I'm a living weapon, able to tap into it like their blades. They didn't know about me, or expect me, so they carelessly unleashed your power. They thought they had won so easily. Using your power, I sent you back. This is where things get confusing. As you relived events, you got stronger. So I had to work with that in mind. Meaning, there's another truth to be told. I sent you back more times than I can count. Every time I did, your power grew. Fortunately, many suffered repeatedly. Your journey hasn't exactly been easy. But you've been through so many cycles, made so many choices, met so many people. It was nice to watch you change it up. Every cycle had potential to be different, but some aspects were set in stone. Mainly, the fact that people died. These experiences made you stronger. Your power is far greater than it was. Like a grain of sand becoming a desert. Unfortunately, it hurt me to watch this. I watched your friends die countless times. Sometimes it was Rook, and others Keela. But Clace and Rocker always perished, along with Andy and Kabu. Came close to dying several times too. I watched Nagi stab you over and over. Every time I sent you back, I grew your power for almost an eternity. I had to be certain you were strong enough. In the end, we'd only get one chance. If I broke the cycle, I couldn't go back. So, if you're hoping for another chance, you won't be getting one in the end. It's over if your power isn't strong enough. It just keeps revealing more and more. So I've been stuck reliving that cycle as well? From what he explained, I was thousands of years old, stuck in an infinite loop to grow my power. So I made different choices in the other cycles? Must have witnessed almost every single possibility. This raises a lot more questions than answers. Veloquist will have to tell you more, such as how you got the power to begin with. I am only responsible for nurturing it. But enough about that. We're here now. You don't need to think about the past. The future is what's more important to us. I noticed they dodged my question yet again. Is he lying, or does he truly not know his past? Probably, if what he says is true. And interestingly, there is actually an achievement that relates to this scene that happens if you don't save up until this point. Because this entire scene plays out differently as a result. Just an interesting thing when you think about it. Is he lying, or does he truly not know his past? Like, his past before this infinite cycle. Perhaps it's been so long he forgot about himself. Might be wondering about what I said. I told everyone you could revive the dead. Of course, this is just my theory. I've witnessed so much death and rebirth. I only received a portion of your power. Ooh. Sorry, I had a drink there. I've been parched like all day. Don't know why. Anyways, I know that you can bring about change. I think we need to eliminate Nami and Nagi. Then maybe you could go back in time. We could change history without any worry. They've been a fixed point on this timeline. If we can erase their existence, maybe we really could change things. But I'm getting ahead of myself. All I know is that your power is limitless. I told everyone that he wanted to hear. They are still mourning over loss, some longer than others. They needed hope in this final dark hour. A great change is coming to Terra. It may even affect more worlds. Acheron has a lot of work on his plate. Yeah, I'm sure he does. I trained him for what felt like years. It took him a long time to learn. To be honest, he had a lot in his mind. He kept asking about Max over and over. But it wasn't out of worry or care. I think he wants to kill her, Sparks. But he can't do that, no matter what. He can only visit her in suspended space. He must never kill anybody in that place. If someone dies in suspended space, well, they're gone from history. They simply cease to exist. I hope Acheron takes his duty seriously. A grudge could cause extreme chaos. But this also supports my earlier theory. If someone can be erased from history, that must prove history can be changed. If we do that, we can prevent deaths. Definitely had a point, as weird as it was. He was so fixated on raising the dead. Made me wonder if he lost anybody himself. His desire was being reflected in his speech. But I quickly realized this is pointless speculation, especially since he can't seem to recall his past. The majority of his existence was spent helping me. In a way, he sacrificed himself for my cause. And sorry for my little rant, Sparks. I usually come across like I know a lot, but honestly, we're on the same page. As he says these words, the carriage comes to a stop. We jerk back a little bit, caught off guard. Oh, I guess there's one more thing. I told you about the true nature of Terra, how it houses the souls of the dead. I lied to Acheron about the Ark's skills. I told him he could bring back the dead. Let's not make a big deal out of this. I told Acheron the truth as well. Salvation of Terra rests with you. You may be the one to bring back the dead. He was fine with this information. There's no bad blood between anybody. Everything is finally out in the open. Without any explanation, he simply leaves the carriage. I jump out to follow. I don't think I'm fast enough. I look in every direction once I exit the carriage. For the life of me, I can't see Reiyo anywhere. Perhaps he just ran off to the castle on his own. Get to meet Veloquez for the first time, too. Hey there, Sparks. It's a pretty sight, wouldn't you say? I see it all the time, but I still love it. Wait, that's the castle from the outside? Huh. Does not look like what I expected. You know, I was expecting something Norman. You know, high towers, high round towers, nice walls, but this is more French. Well, I guess Norman and French are connected, but still, this is really like more modernish France. Interesting. He presses broadly towards the castle with a smile. Then, a moment later, he jumps down from the carriage. What do you say? Are you ready? We'll have to do our best to blend in. We don't get to skip the line or anything. I nod and look up towards the castle. It's true. Definitely was a sight to behold. Like something you'd see in the history books. This time, I would be a part of that history. I can already see quite the lineup too. We should get going so we aren't late. I hate to miss the king's big speech. He starts power walking towards the castle gates. I have no choice but to follow, so I run after him. After everything that happened, I was finally here. Yay! Save! Come on, there we go. Oof. 47 saves. But I wouldn't get in without a wait. We stood in a line of almost hundreds of people. It seemed like everyone on Terra was here. There were way more people than I saw back in Rieli. With every moment, we get a little closer. I noticed a couple of guards standing at the gates, guarding someone who's greeting guests. Wait, is that Leto? I'm so glad to meet that guy. He's a legend around here, you know? It seems that Konrad is genuinely excited to meet him. In fact, I don't think I've seen him like this before. He must be a fan or something of the sort. I ask him for more information to pass the time. He has this way of reading you. He can predict your future or something. I've heard that he's scarily accurate. I just never expected to see him here. Hey Sparks, get out some money. I'd love to have him read our futures. What money would I pay him with exactly? I don't even know what the currency is on Terra. That is a weird thing to actually just realize, that we have not actually heard the currency. Considering the time period, it's probably some sort of, I don't know, gold currency maybe? Also, that door in the background does not match the architecture we saw earlier. At least I don't think it does. I don't know, looks a bit out of place. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't have any money either. Veloquez is supposed to pay me. He crosses his arms and we continue chatting together. After we pass some more time, we arrive at the gates. Sure enough, we're greeted by this Leto. Hello! Now that is an interesting design, you cute little floofball. Boop your nose. But seriously, look at your outfit. That does not look like fantasy. That is clearly modern day magician there. Ah well. Hello citizens, welcome to the castle. Veloquez welcomes everybody to his home. Today, you'll learn about the future of Terra. That sounds pretty awesome, Leto. I'm Konrad. This is Sparks. You might have heard about my friend. Oh, so this is Sparks. Yes, Veloquez told me about him personally. No specifics, just that he's important. That doesn't place you above the rest. I'm here to do my readings of the future. Everyone needs to know what awaits them. Veloquez has promised a brand new start. So today, the readings are on him. Everyone is sharing their stories inside. We're looking towards a brighter future. He'll be revealing the future of Terra. But I will get a little more personal. We'll find out what awaits you too. That is so cool. I can't wait to hear. I always wanted to get a reading done. I feel like glad that we don't have to pay. Seems like today, everything is free. Eloquiz will no longer hold anything back. So, we'll get their reading done first. Me! I would have found it funny if you went, me! Seems like it's more like Konrad. Cute. Just so cute. Conrad leans forward and offers Leto his hand. So, this involves him grabbing your hand. So it's like Konrad knew exactly what to do. Glad to see somebody so eager. Few people have been very rude so far. Either way, let's not wait any longer. Leto grips his hand and holds it tightly. Then he closes his eyes and remains silent. Because his reading required the utmost focus. I sense that you're lost, Konrad. Perhaps things have changed for you. You're scared of what you might become. But there's no need to be afraid, Konrad. In your future, you are very happy. Your adventure has only just begun. You're going to do lots of traveling. You'll make so many notable discoveries. These discoveries will benefit the world. And you won't be doing it alone. There's no chance of losing your path. The way you feel now is only temporary. I can tell you've lost a loved one, but they are not truly gone, it seems. They'll find a new life within you. You might become more like them. Perhaps you've already started to. This person helped make you who you are. You might become more like them, or perhaps you've already started to. No need to repeat yourself, buddy. This person in the world will be better because of it. He releases his grip on Konrad's hand. It was over. Konrad looks both happy and confused at what he heard. Not entirely sure what he meant, but it seems like my future is awesome. I had no objection to anything I heard. Wonder what yours will be like, Sparks. Maybe our futures will cross paths. I'm pumped just thinking about it. I was more eager than I thought. But I did forget to let you know. Velocrest gets an audience, Sparks. Turns to me, gives me a wide smile. I'd like to see you before a speech, so please, go to the throne room once inside. That is, after I take your hand, of course. I offer him my hand, just like Konrad did earlier. He grips it tightly and closes his eyes. He squeezes it a little tighter, like it's not working. In fact, this seems more intense than Konrad's reading. He shifts in place a little bit, almost uncomfortably. I must apologize. This is difficult. Normally I could do this naturally. There's just a lot to process here. I look at Konrad and we exchange awkward glances. Just before I can speak up, Nato pulls back. Well then, that was something else. Thanks for letting me read you, Sparks. What? You ask him what he saw. Enjoy your stay in the castle. Please see Velocrest as soon as you can. Let's not hold up the line any longer. The guard beside him opens up the gates. Push inside without any warning. I turn back, but they quickly lock us in. So much death. Jeez. You're a cheery one. I don't even know why you're here. Your presence seems out of place. I mean, yes, for Konrad, it's kind of nice what you said, but still. Well, that was definitely weird. Maybe he didn't like what he saw. Never heard of a reader backing out. Not to make you worry, Sparks. Maybe you just noticed the long lineup. Rushed us in here to stay on schedule. I have to admit, there's something off about Leto. If he didn't like what he saw, that was an ill moment. Especially given my role as the savior of Terra. But I shrug it off. I don't believe in that anyway. Whatever happened next, Leto could never predict. Especially if Reiyo was right about my true potential. It was just like it did when I left it. Sure wish Andy was here right now. Our mission, we finally succeeded. He smiles as he examines the royal halls. It must be all good for him to get back. This is what he's been trying to do all along. I guess everyone's going to the ballroom. Don't blame them. That's the best place. The rest of the castle isn't as pretty. He points to where a crowd of people are walking. Guess that's where the real party would be happening. Ooh. I guess you have other plans. You have a meeting with the king, right? Guess we can't waste time. I'm like they can. That's a shame, though. It's amazing. It'll be so full of people. If only we could put the world on pause. I wonder if my meeting with Veloquist could wait. Konrad is definitely making the party sound amazing. Should I see the king now? Or ask Konrad to the ball? Let's go check out the ballroom. I want to spend some time with Konrad. I suggest we go check out the ballroom together. After all, this might be the only chance we get. After everything he's said, sounds awesome. Really? You want to go with me? Sorry, that caught me off guard. Well, we are in the castle after all. I suppose we can go a little bit off track. Especially if it's to show you around. But let's not tell Veloquist, alright? Wouldn't want to appear irresponsible. Might even have a drink or two. Aw, you've had bad experiences with ballrooms. But I'd love to spend some time with you. Let's hope things go a little better now. He laughs and starts walking, and we start walking there together. As we leave, I look back at the grand staircase. After this, everything would come to an end. I go to the throne room and finally meet Veloquist. We enter the ballroom together. I look around. The place is massive, bigger than I would have thought. It's packed with people, all wearing huge smiles. This must be the first time they've been inside as well. Well then, this is it. It looks different when it's packed. I used to come here to get alone time. He explains the room to me in vivid detail. Points at different areas as he talks about them. You can grab some food over there. Yes, drinks are on the house today. Live orchestra is still preparing. So for now, the dance floor is empty. That's why everyone is off to the sides. Guess that's all there is to it. What do you like to do, Sparks? Afraid the grand tour is over. It's not that spectacular to begin with. I suppose we should just talk about whatever we can. That's what everyone else is doing, right? We can hang out together one last time. I'm sure you want to relax before the big speech. Are you sure you don't have a thing for me? I mean, you're supposed to meet the king. Would you rather spend time with me? Of course I would. You are adorable. And look at that little red nose. Boop. And those cute ears. And that beautiful fur. Look at that pattern. It's amazing. Okay, I wish we could see a bit under the clothing, but it's not that kind of game. Look at you, making me doubt things. Visions and pleasure don't go together. At least, that's what I've been taught. But, then again, this isn't exactly normal. We barely even know each other, Sparks. I swear that the opposite feels true. We just met the other day, in the forest. But I feel like I've known you forever. Almost like we've lived this before. The orchestra starts playing, startling everybody. Konrad's ears perk up as the dance floor gets crowded. Sorry for rambling on like that. It's just been extraordinary. I'm just feeling so many things at once. You should probably leave the ballroom. If you don't, they'll expect us to dance. And trust me, I'm really not good at that. Probably stay behind and grab a drink. You have an important meeting to attend to. I can't keep you behind like this anymore. It's true, I did have an important meeting. Perhaps going to the ballroom was enough of a delay. But it would be nice to relax before the end of this. Sphinx tells me I'd have a lot of work to do. Let's see. Hands to stomach, bow down, hand extended, in a flourish. May I have this dance? However, I definitely have time for a quick dance. Put my hand out and give Konrad an offer. One last dance before this all comes to an end. He looks at me awkwardly, a blush on his face. Aww. Aww. I can just imagine that face actually blushing. Aww. Wait, are you serious right now? Like I said, I don't know how to dance. We just make fools of ourselves. Hey, I don't know how to dance either. Come on. Just like the rest of the dancers in the room. Their moves aren't exactly professional either. It's likely they've never been on a dance floor. They were just making the most of this moment. I guess you're right, actually. Perhaps we could give it a try. I've been described as graceful. Of course, that was about killing. Assume it's different from dancing. Now I'm just delaying, I'll admit it. He grabs my hand and we walk towards the dance floor. We quickly mimic the motions of the other people. Konrad looks anxious as we robotically move about. I hope we don't get the wrong idea, because we're both guys. Terra is home to far worse than that. But I wouldn't do this with just anyone. Not even Andy asked me to, You're more special than most people here. You're making me blush. People on the dance floor group up a little closer. This pushes Konrad and I much closer to one another. But he doesn't complain, and we continue dancing. In fact, you've left me conflicted. I have a little secret to tell you. It's been on my mind a lot lately. He looks away from me, blushing slightly more. This probably won't mean much to you, but if I was told to kill you, I couldn't. Even though it's my entire way of life. That sounded sweeter in my head. What I meant to say was, I like you. You're not like anybody I've ever met. And that's what I've been thinking about. It's like my assassin days are behind me. I haven't killed anybody since we met. After watching Andy die, I don't want to do that to anyone anymore. I guess I'm going through a sort of crisis. It's just, we've been through a lot. It's making me look differently at death. But then, what else am I even good for? Maybe today will change my future too. Like I said, assassins may not be needed. That has me thinking about Plato's reading. I said something about an adventure. That I'd have a long journey ahead. I never thought I went through a lot. But you seem to know about Andy. You mentioned that I lost somebody. You said that I'd take after them too. Can't imagine a bigger journey than this. You must have a really special future. But he never mentioned King Velikwas. He won't need me to kill anyone anymore. Does that mean he'll throw me away? I hope that's not the case, Sparks. Though, I guess it's all up in the air. Nothing is set in stone right now. Not until Velikwas makes his speech. But even if the future is so uncertain, I'd really like you to be part of mine. You're quite the unforgettable person. The orchestra stops playing, and the floor clears up. Konrad doesn't seem to notice, and we stay close. I wish you best of luck with the king. He's a really remarkable man, Sparks. I'm sure you'll be very surprised. If you tell me all about it afterwards, maybe then I can talk to him about payment and be able to afford a nice retirement. Perhaps that's the journey Leto mentioned. That every adventure has to have hardship. It could be smooth sailing from now on. He smiles, and we release our grip on one another. Because the dance was over. The orchestra is done. We walk back to the side of the room for a final chat. Don't be afraid to ask him to slow down. The king knows how to talk an ear off. Make sure you take it every single detail. Though, if you could do me one favor, ask him if he still has a use for me. I'd like to know what my future holds. He walks away and starts mingling with everyone else. But through it all, he has a wide smile on his face. I suppose he enjoys seeing the halls full for once. With Andy gone, he'd need a lot of company. I leave Konrad behind and walk back to the atrium. It's even more empty than it was before. Perhaps the sound of music lured people away. I examine the grand staircase, resting in front of me. I place my foot on the bottom step and look up. What's happening? I finally meet the king. Everything I've done has led up to this moment. I ascend the stairs, my mind hard at work. Imagine a million different scenarios in my head. Soon enough, I know the truth about everything. My power truly was, and what Velikwas wanted. When I reach the top of the stairs, I see a large door. Clearly, this was the throne room of Velikwas. I go boldly as I stare at its intricate design. They did a good job of making the inhabitants seem grand. I open the door with a large sense of hesitance, wondering what fate awaited me and all of my friends. Oh, thank goodness there's actually a save point there. I was getting worried that it was going to continue without a save point. Why was I worried about that? Well, how should I put this? We are at the actual end point of what I can of how long I can make this video. So, wow, that was fun. It was nice to learn something about, well, basically what our save system means. The actual save system in this game reflects the fact that throughout this game, every choice we've made, every time we've actually saved, it has all been because our choices made things play out differently. And that was a different cycle. So, if that were the truth, then, it's surprising. I could go back and change any moment in this story. Things could play out completely differently. And that's one of the fun things about this game. But as we're about to move into the final chapter, and hopefully it won't be so long, we actually need to have that in 2 parts, but we'll see. I think it's time we call it for today. And next week, we'll move on and see what the future holds. So until then, see us.